5, 4, 3, 2, 1. It's time for the IOU. Let's go.
Hey guys, welcome back to the C&J show. And I have my favorite Gin and Juice here and my sister Neek. And I'm fin to give this mic to Gin and Juice.
All right, guys. So what I have is a snippet of a news broadcast of the case pertaining to Liddell Lee in the murder of Deborah Reese. I'll just go ahead and let the video play and explain after.
In 1993, a young mother living in Jacksonville, Arkansas, was found beaten to death. The man convicted of killing her still says to this day he didn't do it.
And that man is Liddell Lee. TV 11's Erica Ferrando spoke to families on both sides of this crime.
Joseph Lucky was only a child when his mother, 26-year-old Deborah Reese, was allegedly beaten 36 times with a tire tool her husband gave her for protection.
My mother was everything to me.
He spent most of his life hoping for justice and closure.
When she was ripped from my life, it started a spiral that I almost didn't recover from. And my family has lived in the shadow of this event our entire lives.
The man investigators believe to be responsible, Liddell Lee.
Liddell Lee showed no mercy, no lenience to any of the victims that he encountered. He is the embodiment of the evil that should never have to exist in this world.
He's been...
All right. Now, as a disclaimer, guys, you did hear the guy say victims. And that is because Liddell Lee was also accused of 3 separate sexual assault cases in which he was convicted of 2, one in 1990 and one in 1991. He also was convicted of a rape and homicide of a 22-year-old girl in 1989. Now, with that being said, what we want to discuss is not his past convictions, and more so the mishap, the terrible mishap that happened that really cost him his life, in terms of this new evidence that has been found where his DNA wasn't found on the murder weapon. Someone else's DNA was found on there. But he's now dead, and it is 4 years later. So that's more of what we're going to discuss.
Yeah. Here, so what I'm going to say, guys, yes, this is a very sensitive topic, and we're not going, with this family, that family, or anything, because we know with things like this, everybody have a very powerful mind and judgment of things. So, starting here, I guess with myself, what I'm going to say. Now, I do feel, even though he has those past convictions, you can't be accused of something 3 and 4 different times. Now, I would say, if you are the family, I mean, if you even is listening to this, you there's no way someone can accuse you 3 to 4 different times with the same thing, different years. So for that, you're already, to me, kind of like a scumbag for that with the rape. So here, I'm not gonna with that, but I am gonna say this though. Now, he did this 4 or 5 times. Now now we could see how this could make them think he's a liar, he's lying, you did this in the past, your past does show you're known for these things, but he didn't do it. But Neek, this is almost like when we were talking about the Jane girl, when we were saying, the blackmailing, and sometimes, your past can be so bad to where it does predict your future.
Right. I mean, what I will say is this, though. If this particular case, he was convicted, because he was also convicted of this murder and this rape as well, when he kept saying, look, I didn't do it.
Yeah.
And 4 years later, after his execution, found out that he didn't do it. Now it does raise the eyebrow of, okay, what? Although you convicted and you charged him of these other murders, did he really do those murders as well? Was there evidence? Was there DNA? Did you guys test anything since you waited 20 something years later to test even, the DNA from a case that was from 1993? There was no reason not to test the DNA. So my question is to, that the law enforcement, even on that case, those cases, it tested in 1989, in 1990, 1991, those cases, like, was those cases true
or investigated thoroughly?
Yeah, where it's like, okay, well, he really did do it, and we do have, clear and cut evidence where his DNA was found, and we tested it. It absolutely was him, and things of that nature. It makes me question, all of it. You get what I mean?
When you think about it, you were convicted of such things, and you did through the time. They, before they said we're going to give you that electric chair.
No, I don't think so. I'm gonna tell you why. There's no way he would have still been out in 1993 if he was convicted of a rape and murder in 1989. I think all of these women, I think they kind of bundled them all up. Okay, well, these are all like, rape and murder, like a serial thing.
That is true.
Because it was 1989, 1990, 1991, and all in the same area.
How were you even out to
you wouldn't have been
someone?
able to be out in 1993 because that just happened in 1991. You get what I mean? In 1989.
Well, they did say now he was accused.
But he was convicted for 2 of them.
But he was convicted of 2. Now I'm going to say this, guys, and this is seriously because I don't really, honestly, I can't have really too much to say or even be passionate about it at this moment because, truthfully, you did 2 other things. And I'm just sitting here and I got to always think too, if this was me, my mom, or sisters, daughters, or whatever, you did this in the past with someone's child.
But we don't know that for sure.
We don't know. But, Nick, how many times could one person be accused but this wasn't, normally, right? Serial killers are rapists. When they do stuff, they go on that little spray and it's back to back to back. They don't break. Now this was a little bit of a break in something. Now, why are you keep being in the same area that they keep saying you? And
no. I'll think. Look, this is what I'm trying to explain to you, right? I think when they finally got him in 1993, right? For the murder and the rape that he actually did not do, I think they also added those other charges. It's like, yeah, you're also the one who did these murders and these rapes.
I don't think jail though.
But I don't think they're able to do that when they are trying one case. I don't think that they're able to bring in other cases because then it would sway the jury. Okay, so this is just what you do. The jury is just supposed to focus on that one case, hear the evidence.
But Jen, that is how they do that. But they do that just to give the juries, like, okay, you're the prosecutor, so you want to win the case, so you want to say, like, listen,
haven't you?
If a person, you ever been there? You ever went to jury before? You did?
I never did it, but just
I did. I have twice. And see, the thing is, there are certain things they don't want people to, with the jury, you can't be in, know anything of the case. But the thing is, with a good prosecutor, they want to put this is like, okay, just like if someone want to call that passionate love crime. This was a passion. They have to be able to show what led to that. Well, we got to say, okay, this was in a heat of passion where you committed that crime. They got to give that. So even with this, I'm just saying, I don't know. We do not know.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know.
Let's just say for a second he had no prior convictions, right?
Yeah.
Or if he did have prior convictions, they were like petty, small things,
like
right?
traffic tickets,
like stealing, like whatever it is, something small. Okay. And let's just say they tried this case, which they did, and he got put on death row for this case. ignoring all of his other convictions, right? A man is dead because someone made a misstep somewhere that cost him his life.
Mm-hmm.
How is that okay anywhere in the world, let alone America, where we pride ourselves on being so sophisticated? We pride ourselves on being fair, you know, and I
and
feel
having
like
all the knowledge that we don't actually
have exactly. And I feel like the scale of justice is never in favor of, I feel like, minorities.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't want to sound like that but we have to say fact for fact that's what it is, right?
Yeah.
And plain and simple, a man is dead. I think it just makes someone question the entire judicial system and executions as it stands. How many other men were convicted, tried and convicted, and are innocent? You look at people who are in jail now, they've spent 20, 30 years in jail, and it comes out through the Innocence Project. And another thing that I didn't mention was the Innocence Project did work on his case, and before he was actually executed, they appealed to the court to have a stay on the execution to review the case and have the DNA tested, but it was denied.
And that makes me wonder, real quick, right? With all the other cases that they just threw on them and said, okay, we're going to convict you of the other ones too, because there was another lady that was killed around the same spot that we found her, and you threw her here, and this must be where you put all of your victims. You get what I mean?
Yeah.
That also makes me wonder, it's like, okay, are you protecting someone? Because I watch a lot of like forensic files and crime shows, and a lot of times there was, with realistic cases, there were cops that were actually going out in the middle of the night, riding around, women getting off work, and they were the only ones around, and they were killing these women. They were raping these women. There's been a few cops that were found later on that was guilty of doing these things.
Especially around that time. You didn't have dash cams, you didn't have body cams and things like that.
Yeah.
But I think that could be a possibility.
Who are they covering?
But I think it's more so something that would be more like concrete would be, these people want open and shut cases.
Mm-hmm.
They want, like you said, conviction rates, high conviction rates, and things like that. If I could just pile on this murder and this murder and this murder, now instead of having one closed case, I have 3.
Right.
Well, see, to me too, nothing that I don't even want to say the justice, I don't want to say any of it, but nothing that they do to me even makes sense, or even some of it is not right. And I think that's where us, as people, we have to raise these, petitions, get them signed, try to get certain people out of things, throw certain things out. Like, one thing that I do not care for is when people is calling about their loved ones and saying that they went missing. Oh yeah, listen, just give it 24 hours. Let's just give it the 48 hours. When you say that this is the very crucial time here that we supposed to be looking for the person, but if the person is older, no, they do have the right to go out and give a little air.
I think the thing was, so with that, they spend so much money and time when you have to, and granted, we have a lot of money in a lot of our cities and things like that, but they spend a lot of money and time with searching and having a search crew.
That's fine.
And meanwhile, a person would just say, look, I just need to get some fresh air. Yes, I wasn't answering the phone for nobody. I was at Walmart in the parking lot on the phone.
And that's true, but then there's been a lot of people that didn't get a fresh air.
But no, a lot of people didn't. A lot of people were actually dead.
And I think if that time is crucial, within that 24 to 40 hours, those are the very crucial moments. And that thing, listen, just get up and go look. And that's it, and because once you start waiting, you don't, especially for somebody that just came from out of town, it's not the family member, you don't know them, you most certainly, that's when it really becomes like a missing case, because nobody know who did it, and you're not going to know.
And I think, and that's another thing too, I think a lot of times too, with, when it's something like that where somebody goes missing and they don't go check right away, and something, people do die, and then the family just have to go and check. Look, this is not like her, but we have to go and look because we know that this is not what she'll do. they'll go back and blame it. Well, yeah, there was a lot of evidence that was kind of tracked and messed up because the family went out and looked. So there was a lot of tracking and walking back and forth on the murder scene.
And not to mention, they're 24. We know how 24-year-old, because I have a 24-year-old, child. They're in college. They just want to blow some steam. They got a test. It's like all that stuff that you're saying. It could be true, but the family should know their kids, husband, wives a little bit better. It's a lot of stuff that does have to change. But with this here, I would love, which now we do have greater technology. We can see into everything. And to be honest with you, it's cameras, they say, watch everybody with a couple of times out the day. So we do know now. If they really want to break a case, I know exactly what happened to somebody, they just go to the FBI if that was something that they really wanted to know.
But it was 2017 when they executed him. I mean, so 2015, 2012.
Why did they wait so long to get these people executed?
But not only that, it's kind of like, why didn't you test the DNA at that time? It's like we're in the 2000s, like good into the
because
2000s.
It went from, listen, we already know that he did it because he was accused with these other people. So there's no need to test that stuff. First, some nasty person said it. Let's not test anything. What we're gonna do, let's just go head on, and because we already had, the innocent people come in here, try to do his case, do the appeal. Let's just right now because they didn't say it 3 to 4 times, they weren't doing the appeal. Don't say anything. Let this go. And, then after, if we want to do that, we could see, which I know he's going to be found guilty, so it doesn't matter. But in this case, he was freaking innocent.
I think a lot of time goes by and these people are petitioning for help. He had a post-conviction lawyer that was drunk as a skunk in the courtroom. How is that professional? How is that acceptable?
Jen, do you think he was drunk because he was probably with himself thinking like, you know what, this man is innocent. I formed a little bit of a bond with him and there's no way they're going to get him off. I'd rather not even be in, I'm serious. Like, I would rather not even be here in mindset because I know I can't help him.
No,
you don't think so?
No, he had an alcohol problem. Because you're not gonna mess up even if you can't get a person off. Like, this is your business. You might as well say, like, this
fired?
is my name.
He got thrown off of the case.
He got thrown off the case.
I don't know
I'm
how
pretty
they dealt
sure
with him.
he's, but that's gonna make who's gonna go to you now.
Yeah.
Who's gonna want to work with you?
Yeah.
All right, but
we're gonna wrap this up.
Okay.
But it's time for the best time in the world is the IOU time. So guys, listen, my opinion with this is, honestly, watch where you're at and what you do, because honestly, even though this case here is something sad because it led to death, and if he was convicted of those other things, then I feel sorry for those those family members that had to go through that, and he was innocent on this one, so he kind of didn't deserve to I guess for this one to be executed. But just a quick thing with it, watch how your past is well, because it doesn't matter if something as simple as people know you to be a drug dealer, a cheater, prostitute, whatever it is. If that carries, it carries, and people are going to judge it from that. It's not right at all, but that's what happened. And I would hate to feel like, this is why they basically predicted you did it, because you're known for this stuff. So, watch out for that. And hey, I'm done.
With this case, the only thing that really keeps coming in my mind is money. And the reason why I say that is because America is a cash-only country. I feel like people who have cash get away with a lot of things, and they're able to get out of a lot of situations. I feel like had he not been, poor or whatever it is, he would have been able to have his case reviewed earlier because he would have had better lawyers, or, his case would have been taken more seriously, sad to say, because he has money. So I do feel like that is something big that we missed the token on. A lot of people lose their lives because of it, not only in death, but in terms of being in prison for so long. I know the what is it called? The Innocence Project.
Oh yeah.
Is a nonprofit project, and you have thousands upon thousands upon thousands of inmates that are writing you for this free service for you to review their case. And if we had more of those for these underprivileged men that are wrongfully convicted and things like that, to get them the help that they need, or we had more lawyers willing to work pro bono, without charge or whatever, I feel like a lot of people wouldn't be where they are or lose so much of their life to the prison system that was made to keep them in there to begin with. So I do feel like, I hate to say it, but it's like you have to get yourself in a place financially. I don't care if you have been convicted of something before or if you've never done anything before. You have to get yourself in a position financially where you can, those are your paddles. Those are your paddles when you're in that, you're in that storm, at least you have a paddle, something to help you.
Yeah.
I agree. And kind of going on what both of you were saying, I feel like with this case in particular, unfortunately, 24 years went by, they executed him, and then come to find out he didn't do it. It was his DNA was not on the murder weapon. I don't know. My question would be, why did you guys even test the murder weapon in 2021? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Why not 1995 or 2000, 2002, like 2005? Like, why after the execution? Like Jen was saying, of course, I know financials and things like that do make up a lot of different things with, the justice system and things like that. I do feel bad for his family and the families that lost their loved ones, and there's still not an answer. So, I mean, long story short, I don't know. I mean, I feel bad. That's basically the bottom line, because nobody wins in a situation like this.
Yeah, so guys, that's what we have to say, and you guys can leave your comments and saying, how you.
Yeah, definitely let us know how you feel about this case in the comments.
Yeah, because
we'll be reading them.
Yeah, and getting back, we're not and two, you know what, we're not saying, okay, yeah, we believe this and we don't. You clearly heard it, so hey, whatever you say here, just leave the comment. But I guess we're done. We're out.
All right.